The Debate is a bilingual program about the political discourse of Nigeria, representing issues and matters arising as they concern the governance of Nigeria by Nigerians in the diaspora and those resident in the country. Insecurity, unemployment, politics, epileptic power supply, strikes. We render an expose of the malfeasance of the past, the inadequacies of the present, and the deceits of the future. Join me every Tuesday on Voice Power Television as we discuss these and more.
This is Voice Power Media, the voice of the realm.
Welcome. This is The Debate on Voice Power Media Television. I am Daniel Nyong Edem. In today's edition, we are going to be talking about national as well as local politics. Specifically, we shall be looking at modalities to ensuring we hold elected representatives and candidates accountable to their constituents. With me in the studio are the Nsukka General Assembly President, Honorable Roy Ekweme. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Also with me in the studio, Comrade Ejike Naji. You are welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
The lady in our midst, popularly known as Oracle Juliet. You are welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Okechukwu Crofts.
Okay. Comrade Okechukwu, you are welcome, sir.
Thank you.
To begin with, what is your impression about the ongoing NBA conference?
Okay. I think I'm not a lawyer, and but the NBA conference seems to be like a national conference where all the major political players were invited to speak at the launch of the conference. And for me, I saw it is an avenue for Nigerians to praise the political situation in the country, where the pendulum is swinging to, the person that is inspiring Nigeria, the person that is motivating Nigeria, on where the political future of Nigeria lies. And I think from what happened in the opening ceremony, it's also obvious where Nigeria is stating to us.
All right.
Okay. Well, from what happened there,
And what is still happening?
there, it's obvious that every Nigerian wants P2B. I want to be specific. Even the ovation that was given to him is enough for Nigerians to know that this is what they want. And that is what politics entails. When the public is saying that this is what we want, government should listen to them and not who they want to be there. Because when the masses is in support of a candidate, it means that they will give him their loyalty, their support, and otherwise. So I think in fact the crown is already on Obi. So there is no two ways about it. But if Nigeria decides to do otherwise, it's against the interests of the people.
Has the NBA become a political tool, according to you?
Well, yeah, somehow it is. They are the lawmakers, and they are there to witness every speech that is going on there. So from the speech that each candidate was giving, NBA was able to know that this is the true person that is meant for this position.
Comrade Okechukwu.
Okay, the NBA conference was a platform that gave us the opportunity to see what these people are, those who are telling us to vote them in as presidents.
What they can offer.
It was an opportunity for Nigerians to see what they could offer, because every candidate spoke. P2B spoke, Atiku spoke, and where you weighed their speeches, you would see, like I saw, that P2B was by far sounder than Atiku. Atiku's speech to me was a kind of empty.
He was playing.
Yes. So, and then after that, there was the other side of it, the comic side of it, where you saw the lawyers shouting, Obi, Obi. And then behind the scene, there was a place they asked him how he managed to get his statistics. And he was showing them on his phone. Meaning that this is a man that is studious, who wants to update his knowledge. So I'm seeing that conference as as a very important one that allowed us to have an insight into what we can see and have from 2023.
All right. So what you are saying actually is that are you insinuating that public opinion can be weighed from the ovation that Peter Obi received?
Of course, that is public opinion. You know, remember that it happened in Lagos.
Yes.
Okay, in Lagos is not Peter Obi's,
the stronghold of Tinubu.
Yes, APC stronghold. It was not Peter Obi's backyard, and people who practice law are not necessarily people from Labour Party. They are not necessarily people from Anambra. They are not necessarily Igbos. They are not necessarily from any party. These were Nigerians, pure Nigerians, yearning for the incoming of this man called Obi. It was clear. So that was a very simple.
Nigerians from the 3 ethnic groups.
All tribes that
All
you could
tribes
imagine were represented in that MBA activity. Yes.
Comrade Ejike Naji.
Well, MBA being a past political organization has the prerogative or the right to actually invite the major contenders in an election period like we are now to their organization, to their conference. Mind you, it's an annual conference, and since inception, I've been witnessing a whole lot of leaders to speak in their conferences every year. So, deviating from the normal or where every one of us have actually pointed out, the most important speech there is actually Chimamanda's speech. To me, she said something that I've been trying to figure out since last night. Nigerians or Nigeria lacks heroes. We lack heroes. So, coming to that, if you be able to try to connect it with what is happening in our political space today, you will understand that we are in a kind of a period, a trying time in our nation. We're in a period whereby the people, the masses are looking for heroes. So anywhere anybody they felt that he's a hero steps foot, they're actually going to cheer the person, irrespective of where the person is coming from. And this is what we saw in NBA conference. This is what we are seeing in our media space. This is what we are seeing in every other place.
But we did not see the kind of cheering or be received happening to Atiku as well.
I didn't mention name. I actually talked about Chimamanda.
Okay.
Politically, I don't get involved in national politics for now, for reasons best known to me. But mind you, just take it from me. Nigerians needs hero. Nigerians needs a hero. Someone they can be proud of. Those who are in US will be proud of and say that we have a president. Those who are in UK will be proud of telling others that we have a president. For Christ's sake, being at this particular point in time, being in Nigeria outside Nigeria is a problem. You can be killed, anything can be done to you, and nobody will come for you. Nobody will come and help you out. We have a damaged image both inside and outside the country. We need a hero. We need somebody who we look up to, just like the days of the Zik of Africa. We look up to and say that. I was watching a video some time ago. Late Tafawa Balewa came to US and they shut down their national works and every other thing just to give him a heroic welcome in the United States. Which leader in Nigeria can receive that? You can say our leaders have been dragged all over the world, either kidney transparency issues or something like that. When Nigeria was Nigeria, you can't do it. So the most important speech in that conference is actually the Chimamanda's own. If you look at the picture of what Chimamanda painted, you don't need to tell anybody that Obi is more welcome than anybody. You don't need to tell anybody that the hero Nigerians are looking out for is being seen in party A or in party B. We are looking for a hero who will point to this chair and tell you that this chair is red, and everybody will come around and see that this chair is red. This is what is happening. So NBA, they have done well, they keep doing it. Every election year, they keep doing it. But another point that every other person has skipped is that one of the major contenders disappeared from the conference. This is a particular point in time in the history of Nigeria. We shouldn't be doing politics of party, religion, tribalism, and all these things. We should be talking about the image of our nation, the economic input, and our political policies outside the country. So if the APC candidate cannot come and tell us what he can do for Nigeria, why are we going to vote him? Are you not seeing Osibanjo? Osibanjo is a well-learned person, a very good man that can handle this nation and put this nation in the map. But the incompetency of the man at the helm of affairs have rendered him useless. The MBA conference have actually brought eye-opener for all of us to see that there is fire on the mountain, and if you don't take time as a nation, the greater problem will still come and we will continue to complain. This is the time to get it right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Atiku Abubakar, in his speech, emphasized experience, that he is bringing experience on the table, that he did it before and he will do it again. While Peter Obi said that he has fresh ideas he wants to bring on the table. So, which way do we follow? Is it experience or novelty, new ideas?
Anyways, me, I will support that we queue into new ideas. The experiences that Atiku had before is likened to old men experience. And the Nigeria we are talking about is the Nigeria for the youths. Our youths have been subjected to unemployment, subjected to Yahoo, subjected to cyber crimes, and a man at his age, I believe he must be in his 70s, should be at home resting.
But he runs companies, institutions where he employs.
But people are the one running it for him. We want somebody that will run Nigeria, not somebody that somebody somewhere will be running the affairs. When you balance this thing, let's be sincere. Let's be sincere. People that say they don't want to mention, when Chimamanda he was referring to Obi, because we don't want a tragic hero when you come to literature. Atiku is the tragic hero because PDP has been there and there was no change. Now we want a new thing. Everything should be new, from top to bottom. So if we want something new, from federal to states, let there be new. Everything should be new. The Bible says everything should be new all the time. Do you understand? So the experience of Atiku, he should not bring it back. We want new ideas. We want new Nigeria.
Comrade Okechukwu.
Okay.
Experience or new ideas?
Yes,
new hands.
Before I delve into that, I want to call our mind to something. I don't think that comparing Atiku and Obi, that Atiku has more experience. I don't think so. You know, it is said that experience is to intensity and not longevity. You can run this house for 10 years. But what another person does with 2 years may give that person better experience than what you have done for 10 years. What was Atiku? Vice President. What was Obi? Governor of a state. How did Atiku end? How did he do his work? Did he learn solution to problems? He's still battling with accusations about fraud, embezzlement, misappropriation of funds.
But he has said he has never been indicted.
That is, I said he is battling with it. We have not, you and I cannot say whether it was true. But one thing I hold strong is that the president at his time, Obasanjo, wrote in his book, it's written there, the magnitude of the corruption.
Fantastically corrupt.
Fantastically corrupt. That's what he described Atiku with. So, Is it that the experience he is boasting of? I don't like that kind of experience. Now, talking about fresh ideas and experience, if I look at Nigeria, the Nigeria that I met since I was born, I don't like that kind of experience. The way things are done in Nigeria needs total overhaul. I would prefer a fresh idea.
So you mean we should go back to the drawing board and bring fresh mind?
Yes, from a tabula rasa condition, we should start afresh. In fact, if you ask me to suggest, I would say that
Tabula rasa.
from the constitution, it should be rewritten. Nigeria is a big fault. We need fresh ideas.
Honorable Roy Ekweme, experience or new ideas, fresh hands?
Thank you very much. When it comes to experience and new idea, I will say that experience is good, very good. So is new idea. And I would like us to balance the two. Yeah. Like when you say that we need to do things differently, before you need to do something differently, you need to understand what has been happening before, what is going wrong. That is where the experience comes in. And I will go in line with my brother. He just took the words out of me. Atiku is not more experienced than P2B. That being said, because we know how governance is being run. Number two is totally not calling the shot. Being a number two in any government, you are holding a kind of a delegated power. When the number one says you should do this and should do that. There is, forget about the hierarchy of government, president, vice president. A city governor has more power to execute things than the vice president. So being a governor, a former governor had held an executive power where he was in control of running of his state for 8 years. And you cannot use it, somebody that were a subordinate of somebody that was running Nigeria for 8 years cannot say that I have more experience in running affairs of a people. Yeah. He has never run affairs of a people. Never has he done that. When he won Adama, he wasn't sworn in and he moved to become a vice president. So he has never been that, he has never had that opportunity to run an affair of a people. I can tell you that a local government chairman can say that I have had an executive position. Yes. When I say that, okay, if I make this policy, if I say that this policy is going to stand, this policy is stand. If I say that this policy is going to go, this policy will go. So there is no way that Atiku is going to say, oh, I have more experience than P2B. But I believe that just like an average African, an average old African, they always believe that because they are older than you, they know more than you. But the truth is that this is our generation. What happens in a generation different from what is happening in our generation. And to tell you the truth, Obi is not a young man. See, Obi is a blend of the old order and the new order. Like, he understands us. He lives like us. He operates like us. But he has the experience that Zodo have. Obi started running business. Obi became a billionaire at the age of 30 for crying out loud. He started running his family business as a teenager. So he has been running things. So business-wise, nobody can say that they are more experienced than P2B in this race. Governance-wise, nobody is going to say that they're more experienced than P2B. So nobody should come into play here to tell us that, oh, that I have more experience than P2B. Nobody does. So we can talk about what they are bringing. And what they are bringing, what we are looking forward to, is who has the energy. Like, I want to tell you that this is something that people find it to believe. But P2B is not running for president. Nigerians are running to take back their country through him. If we like it or not, Obi was forced to run. Obi was literally forced by Nigerians.
Why do you think Obi was forced to run?
No, let us take it from the beginning. If you have followed the politics of PDP prior to the primary elections, Obi didn't want to contest the presidential primaries in the first place. But over the years after the 2019 election, Obi stayed. He was granting interview. He was in conferences. He was profiling solutions. So Nigeria, he was giving Nigerians hope. He was raising our hope and faith that there is possibility that this country that everybody is about to lose faith in can work. So period to when it was now time for presidential nominations, Nigerians were already following him. And the body language then was to continue the old order of running with Atiku, and then probably when Atiku has finished, then he will now become the president. Then the young Nigerians made it obvious to him that their support for you has nothing to do with PDP.
But there's nowhere it's recorded.
No.
That
this is not.
It was forced to run.
No. This is not. It looks like somebody. We are talking about things that happen. They run up to some decisions. Like it's not a situation where somebody put a goal on his head that you're going to run. No, it was an obvious thing that before he declared for president, he was meant to know that if he doesn't run for president, they are not going to support him.
Now, how worried are you that some parties' presidential candidates fail to show up at the NBA conference?
Well, I am not worried. If I said I'm surprised, then I'll be lying to you. By Obi's idea and then intellectual ability and the kind of the organic support it is joining the nation, it takes a whole lot of balls for somebody to come and stand on the stage with Obi now as a presidential candidate. We know that the person that didn't come, old age is a blessing. All of us are praying to be aged. All of us are praying to live long, to enjoy our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren. But at the point, there was the time that it reaches a man's life, you step aside.
Right.
From everything that's been going on, we know that he's no longer, he was once intellectually sound, but from what is going on at his age and everything around him, he is no longer strong. He's no longer intellectually sound. He doesn't no longer have the idea to do this. But because that the people around him or the cabal that's pushing him think that he is a means for them to gain to power, to take over power. They are pushing him forward. This should be a man that have literally gotten everything that he needs in his life. He doesn't need to be president. So why would he want to suffer us just to as a president?
The report says he said that is his turn.
No. There is nobody's turn. Okay, let us even talk about turn. Let's even talk about turn. We have been very careful not to sell Obi as an Igbo president or a Southeastern president. But let us talk about turn. Nigeria, from inception, is known as Wazobia.
This is Voice Power Media, the voice of the realms. Here we give you the latest on news, politics, entertainment, rights, and faith. We have the best programs to keep you updated, informed, and glued to your phone all day. Voice Power Media News, Ordinary People's Parliament, Entertainment Gist, Nigeria Movies Today, Hard Truth of the Gospel. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the notification button to be notified each time we post a video, and like and comment on our every video so we can serve you better. We are here to serve you.
This is Voice Power Media, the voice of the realm.
Wa, Zo, and Bia, representing the three major ethnic groups of Nigeria: the Yoruba, the Hausa, and the Igbo. Since 1999, an Igbo man has never been the president of this country. Notwithstanding that the G7 that went to G23 to then G34, that later formed the PDP, that brought in the new government in 1999, was pioneered by Igbo man Alex Ekweme. But till then, the Igbo man has not become president. Now, if you are talking about turn, it is the turn of the Southeast to produce the next president of Nigeria. If we're actually talking about equity and fairness and justice, because in truism, you can never have peace where there is no justice and where there is no fairness. And you are seeing it happening over in Nigeria. But we are not just saying it is our turn. No. The truth is that the most competent and credible person in this race is from Southeast. So it's not even about the fact that truly for the justice and fairness and equity is supposed to come from Southeast. We're talking about that the best person to do this job right now is one person that is come from the Southeast.
You are a PDP man that is directly or indirectly supporting Peter Obi.
Well, I don't know where you heard that I'm a PDP man, because I am not a card-carrying member of any political party. But I must tell you the truth, I have a good relationship with the ruling party in the state, which is Enugu State, and I support them. But that does not make me a PDP man. I am a Nigerian. I lead a non-partisan organization. Though usually people mistake non-partisan with apoliticalness. We are not apolitical. But we are not affiliated to any political party. It doesn't take order from any political party. So we walk around and then try to sieve out the people that we feel that can be able to do the job the way we feel that in our own best interest. Look at the people that we feel that we're going to support and be able to deliver.
All right, we shall come back to that.
Okay.
Comrade Okechukwu, do we continue with the old order of inviting a candidate and the candidate not showing up during a debate or a conference like this one that is currently happening at the NBA?
A bad thing is bad. If you want to lead a nation, you should be ready to speak to them. You see, the problem with Nigerian leaders is that they don't know what is happening in other places. They behave like people covered in a hole without knowledge of what politics and administration is. Sure. In developed countries, America, for example, if the president is being expected to speak and he does not show up, it's a big problem. It is a very serious problem. Somebody vying for a position should come whenever they are called up to tell the people what they have to offer. But if they are dodging, then it means that they have some shady deals, or maybe they are not capable, but they want to pretend and manage to maneuver until they are elected in. So I think that it should be a rule. There should be a law like that, stipulating certain time or activities that will call all presidential aspirants to speak. And if they don't, there should be a punishment for that.
Like
probably
national debate.
Yes, national debate. And it should be the person vying for that post. Don't send your vice. Because in the Nigerian system, we are voting for the president. Unlike the American system, where you vote for the president and vote for the vice. But here, you vote for the president. So you are the one we are voting for. So it should be stated. Anybody who is vying for any position should come and speak.
Do we continue the old order of a politician being invited to an event and then he's not showing up?
He's not showing up. Well, I don't. The question is not order balance, because him not showing up, and the old order means that they should be invited, and then they have the audience or the opportunity to talk to the people and bring out their manifesto, what they are going to give to the society. And if the person fails to show up, somebody that is trying to represent a country refuse to show up in a debate, then it means he's not capable. You understand? It means that he's going to be a ghost leader, somebody that will be ruling and we can't even hear from him. And that is what's happening in Nigeria now. We don't know what is happening, because most times we even want to hear from our president and we don't hear from him. We will hear a lot of photoshopped studio stuffs on television, and this is not what we want. So for the fact that Tinubu did not show up, it means that on no occasion should any Nigeria vote for him to be our president, because it means that we are going to remain in the bondage that we are already. But we want to come out from that bondage so that we can see the light and see that Nigeria have what it takes to be happy. We are more than all those Ghana. We have all the resources to make ourselves one of the best, but we are at the back. So I think him not showing up means he has been disqualified. You understand? So that's my own personal opinion.
You have the opinion that he should be disqualified?
Yes,
from the
even
race.
he should not even contest, because for him not to come, in the first place, he should go and rest. It means he needs rest. He was resting while others were in the function. So let him, let him continue resting. Even the man that came to represent him, you saw how he was looking.
Well,
Comrade Ejike Naji.
Well, I have to first of all give kudos to Shetima, his vice president. He actually intellectually deposited some things at that conference. Whether you like it or not, he's sound. I like to balance things when I'm making analysis. He's sound. But we don't need, just like when Comrade Roy was giving analysis of between Obi and Atiku, he mentioned something, vice president being the vice always at the mercy of delegated power or delegated functions and other things. We don't need a vice president that is intellectually otherwise capable, but a president that is dead up here. We don't need it. We need a president that we can trust. For example, when people were accusing Joe Biden of being sick, Oga used to come every debate to prove to them that even when he knows that he is sick, he used to come to every debate to make points, to tell America that this is America of our dream against Trump and other things. So we should throw away that old part. That's how they brought Buhari, Yaradua. I can remember during Yaradua's campaign, at one of the campaigns, Obasanjo picked God. Umaru, where are you? We don't need such a thing again. We don't need blessed memory, good man. But we don't need such a thing. We should have a president that. Do you know that office? That office can make you to be awake 24 hours sometimes. We should have a president that is agile and that can wake up if the work demands that he should be awake for 24 hours, 23 hours, 20 hours. He should be awake. I know some leaders that doesn't sleep at all. Their sleep is like 1 hour, 2 hours a day. Yeah. So the office, the kind of trouble we are in currently in this country needs someone that is health-wise sound. We need somebody that is intellectually sound. We don't need somebody that what is the name of the party? PDP. Is not what we want now. Go to the market, you carry 50,000 naira to go to market. You will come back home, start doing arithmetic. You will start doing arithmetic. I'm sure I lost money somewhere. And it is not even there in the north. It's getting worse there on daily basis. So everybody wants actually thinks the kind of person that will change the situation. The masses want to have a sense of belonging in their fears. You can even, we are hungry now and somebody is stealing 90 billion and they are giving that person bail. In China, they hang the person. Immediately they found out that you stole money, such amount of money, they hang you. But because of ethnicity, they won't do that. You will see the other one that used 500 million cut grass and is looking for vice president of Nigeria under APC. Going around making noise, telling them that his birthright, just like the other one is saying that the presidency is his birthright. You see people shameless because of ethnicity, because of the angle or religion they are coming from. People tend to celebrate evil and criminals.
Now, what modalities can we put in place to ensure that elected representatives and even candidates are held accountable to the people?
Okay.
Because it boils down to this.
Yes, how to hold
elected
how
representatives.
to ensure
Yes.
accountability
Yes.
from elected leaders. I think we should look at it in two ways. The national level, then at the state level or local level, because they are not the same. Okay. The measure you can take to ensure accountability at the federal level may not be applicable to the state or local governments. But by and large, one way to ensure accountability lies in the hands of the government, and that is independence of the judiciary. The problem Nigeria has is that Nigerian judiciary is not independent. The court can say that this man stole some money and prove it, and then a president would say, don't worry, just keep adjourning. They will keep adjourning until the tenure ends, and it finishes like that. So independence of the judiciary will help so that anybody who is called to order will obey that order. Then another way is we, the followers or the supporters, should be accountable on our own. If you are not accountable, you cannot force another person to be accountable. I'll give you an instance. If I am a youth leader of a party, say PDP in Enugu State, and the money comes into my hands to run some things, maybe for mobilization, if I don't handle that money very well, if I rise tomorrow to tell the governor that you've not done well in this project, people will not support me because I have done similar thing that I'm trying to accuse somebody of. So the people, you, Daniel, do you have an organization that you are managing? How are you obeying the law in that management? If you are able to obey the law, then it spirals up. Then people can now have a common ground with one voice for agitation. But if the people that are being suppressed are biased because there are other levels of suppression within the suppressed, it will be a problem. Then accountability again, I think one thing people should do, especially at the local level, is self-development. Nigerian people are not educated. I'm telling you the reality. There are so many youths who don't know the law. They just go to the to Facebook, they go to the social media, and they read something and they analyze and they cut it and they paste it as comedy. Nigeria is the House of Assembly are making laws. Do you follow the law? People should study those laws. Then develop yourself. Self-development is important. Try to go to school. After going to school, learn a skill. If you can't learn a skill, boy, do some apprenticeship so that you can feed yourself.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
What are the modalities that we should put in place to ensure that we hold elected representatives and candidates accountable to their constituents?
I think the modalities are very simple, and the modality is consequence. The reason why leaders are not accountable for their people is because there is no consequences for their unaccountability. It's as simple as that. See, humans are naturally built to be selfish. It is not intrinsic in Africa. But strong men, what you refuse to understand is that strong men don't make good countries.
Sure.
Strong institutions. That is the reason why we are not looking at to get strong people that will lead us. We're looking at people that is going to help to strengthen the institutions. I am sorry to say it is that within the people that are in this table now, any of us that found ourselves in a position tomorrow whereby there is possibility to take 500 billion naira and nobody is going to know, the system is not going to know, and nobody is going to find out, bet me you, 90% will do it
99.29.
within this room.
You are
Now,
speaking for yourself.
listen, no, don't interrupt me, please. Don't interrupt me. Allow me to do my analysis. Now, taking away the 10% that might not do it. Now, the major problem comes is that once there is that loophole, if you don't, somebody below will, and you are not going to find out. And the system is not going to find that. And it continues that way. Now, the best way, people used to say that prevention is a popular word. It's better than cure. The best way is to stop people from stealing in the first place through strong institution. Now, going that, when I say consequences, if elected leaders knows that if I promise to deliver on this in 4 years' time and I fail, I'll be voted out. They will deliver. They will deliver on their promise. But if they know that I can do anyhow, in fact, I can decide to ghost for the 4 years and then come back and win again. There is no incentive. See, humans don't obey law because they like law. We obey law because there are consequences for disobeying it. That's exactly humans naturally everywhere. No, when you check the consequences of your actions and then you now say that it is better for me to do it this way. And it is very easy that we come out and say that politicians don't have ideology. I have had this argument with some people and I say, no, politicians everywhere in the world don't have ideology. It is the people that have ideology. Now, on the average, if I ask a Nigerian, what is your, as a Nigerian, what do you, let's take for example, healthcare. What is your ideology on healthcare? Like, what do you want from government on healthcare? Every Nigerian will tell you that they want good healthcare system. But that is not an ideology. So it is easy for a politician to come and promise you a good healthcare system.
Build it. Build one building.
Or build one building for you. But when you talk about ideology, now you need to know whether, as an individual, which healthcare system do you think that is going to be efficient for your own health, for your community health? Is it private sector driven or public sector driven? Well, there is kind of an ideology whereby you know that, okay, public sector driven is going to make it affordable. But private sector driven is going to make it efficient. Now, you need to understand where your own ideology lies in. That's why when you go somewhere in America, you have the Democratic Party and the Republican, the Liberal and the Conservative. So the ideology runs contrast to each other. But all of them are pursuing efficiency. Now, you cannot win a presidential election without identifying with those people's ideology. Because if you don't have that ideology, you cannot get their vote.
Even in their states, ideology sells in every state in America.
So if you don't have that ideology, so this is the ideology of people. So when you go to people to campaign, you pander to their ideology. If you go to people to campaign, you pander to their ideology. So we Nigerians, in all the critical sectors, we don't have an ideological base whereby we're going to say, oh, the politician or the party that is promising this thing that we want is the one that we are going to vote for. So we just want a bogus promise of we want to make everything El Dorado, whereby somebody will come in one campaign and promise to constructing things and nobody's even going to notice because the person is eloquent or everybody's cheering up. I don't know if you understand me. So this is one of the major problem. But like I said, we need somebody that at least Nigerians can have faith, hope in, and trust. Then we must, on our own, have the understanding that that accountability lies with us. If we begin to punish them for failure, for non-productivity, or non-fulfillment of their promise, then they will start forcing themselves to be accountable so that they will not lose the next election.
Thank you. Do you think chronism and stomach infrastructure is playing a part in sustaining corrupt leaders?
Sure. For example, weeks ago, I was discussing with a politician in Abuja. He was telling me reasons I should come and work for him. And I asked him a question. He's telling me that there is too much money in this place, that if we work and deliver this thing and win this thing, I can be able to get him my own money and this thing. There's one word P2B used one day in an interview. Nobody is a saint. Nobody. In this country, nobody is a saint. But there are people that have actually presented themselves that if you look around, see everything, you cannot find anything to hold them, hold it against them. Stomach infrastructure plays a whole lot of role in keeping these corrupt people. Days back, a friend was telling us how all his family members will vote for P2B. We were in their house. I called the mother to the parlor and asked the mother that if election is tomorrow or next tomorrow, and the APC gave you 10,000 naira to vote for them, and your son says that you should go and vote for P2B, who would you vote? He looked at his son and told me that he doesn't know this boy. How much had the boy been contributing to the house that he will tell him whom to vote for? Now this hunger, I'm giving you an honest reply now. Stomach infrastructure. That is why if you do everything, if you patch every loopholes, there is number one that is still leaking. You see vote buying. You see vote buying. Hunger. I noticed something again during the elections. Politicians, it will now start looking like our economy is doing 1K leg like that. They will introduce hunger. It will come to it speaks. So that everybody will start relying on a whole lot of things to make money, to get financial resources. So on election day now, if I'm very, very hungry and there's nothing I'm doing in my village, I'm so jobless, you bring 5,000 naira. God knows that we will consider what I will use that 5,000 to do, but I will collect that 5,000.
How do we begin to tackle this? Is education enough?
Education is not enough. I wanted to counter my brother that says education. In fact, let me tell you the truth. I will boast you. Do you know that it is actually the richest people in the system that are more corrupt than the educated ones, or than the ordinary, than those ones who came from a poor background? If you want, I can mention them here, but because we are on air, I can't. The richest ones are the one dipping their hand into the public fund more than the ones that does not have it when given opportunity. So I align my thoughts with him. We need a strong institution. It's all about institution. Don't even talk about fighting those who have stolen. Create an institution. My brother, there are in a place where you, like this organization now, there are people that you work with. If you collect 100 naira now, my brother, you come and make account of it. You don't need anybody to tell you that you will be sacked. And after sacking you, they will arrest you. You don't need anybody. We need an institution that works like that. We need an institution that will know that corruption does not know ethnicity, does not know religion. EFCC now is actually big man's thing. You will steal 90 billion, they will give you 2 years in prison. So we need a stronger institution. What makes a strong nation? A strong nation is not the strong people like you have pointed out. It's the strong institutions embedded. And I have to agree with my brother again. I've been saying it since. Until we change, overhaul, removal of everything in our constitution. We need to overhaul the constitution and start afresh. There is something, if you are reading American constitution, you will see will the people. Our constitution does not have something like that. It doesn't represent we the people. It is a representative of will the elites, the 2% of Nigerians. This constitution represents Nigerian constitution represents the 2% of Nigerians, and they keep encouraging them, supporting them, that if you steal billions, you will go to jail for 2 years. While if I mistakenly do pickpocket here, they will either they
will be lynched.
Either they lynch me, or I will be arrested, and they will give me like 10 years for doing pickpockets, 10 years imprisonment for doing pickpocket. Jungle, that is if before the police will get here, jungle justice have already been passed on me. Yes. We need such a thing. We need, it's only in the north that you can see that a politician, a no criminal, will be stoned. We don't do it. We even go and celebrate them. Then he made another thing that I want to use it to conclude. A young man was boasting that how so innocent he is in an organization. You see, power. I sometimes tell people, pray for those in power. More you are criticizing them is good, but pray for them. I've been close to people at the corridor of this thing. Once they come out, they will start telling you things they should have done, and they will be crying saying it. What actually happened while they were there? That thing you see there is demon. Once you go there, you think straight like this. Nigeria's system is different from others, and a whole lot of things need to be corrupted. You will see people, and you want to change this phone now, this phone pack, that it doesn't represent the people. Someone will come and tell you that you should forget that people. His Excellency, those people doesn't know you. If you change it, they make noise. Call all of them, give them 5,000 naira. I'm being honest with you. So you understand? He was given opportunity to serve. 2 weeks, they set him up. Pure, they set him up. I was aware. Give him a budget of a particular project. Brother, he did not do the project. He did not. A 50 million naira project had K-leg. The Corvette, he built the Corvette within 2 days. Rain have actually carried everything away. And he told them that he spent 75 million. He's looking for balance of about 15 million naira or 25 million. But on our own, as citizens, we have a whole lot of things to do if you actually want to curb this corruption. It's not by making noise on social media. The noise we are making on social media, I told somebody this morning, once you are insulting these people on social media, you are giving them edge. You are telling them what they should do, what they should have done, they have not done. There are some languages they understand, but we are yet to be keying into that language. The more we are on social media, tell me any politician in this country that have been changed because of posting on social media. Just one particular person. Tell me a particular politician in Nigeria that have been chased out of his seat because of posting on social media. None. But I can give you an example of one that have been chased out because of a strategic. I know the one you are involved. Strategic engaging. I know the one who also have partaked in. It is not by making noise, it is by getting it real. Sometimes you are speaking too much on social media, they are noting it. Once they start sending people to go and bribe you, if you don't want to do it, they will start using something to go and get you arrested. Or do one or two things like that. You don't even know what is happening, you stop posting. Strategic. And again, another thing that is killing us is too much ambiguity of everything. I don't know why we have the Nigerian judiciary, NBA, we still have the Judiciary Council. All these people are being paid by the government one by one, spending the money. You also still have the board of whatever, supervising the whatever they are doing. It is appalling. The Ministry of Justice, the board of Ministry of Justice, this one of the board. It doesn't work. All these things are actually trying to encourage and prolong corruption.
Now let's come back home. The Debate is a bilingual program about the political discourse of Nigeria. We present the issues and matters arising as they concern the governance of Nigeria by Nigerians in the diaspora and those resident in the country. Insecurity, unemployment, politics, epileptic power supply, strikes. We render an expose of the malfeasance of the past, the inadequacies of the present, and the deceits of the future. Join me every Tuesday on Voice Power Television as we discuss these and more.
This is Voice Power Media, the voice of the realm.